Yells.
Hello YouTube, it's your girl Lady Merc here, and for this video I'm gonna have a story for you guys, and it's about my crazy obsessive stalker ex of mine, and this shit has just gone way out of proportion, and I wanted to tell you guys about it because I think it's hilarious, and I think he is subscribed to my channel also, so if he sees it I really could care less, but let's get started with the story. Okay, it was about probably a few months ago now, I think, maybe about 2 months ago. I was dating a guy and I noticed that his phone was doing a different notification sound. And I was like, okay, what is that? And he wouldn't tell me. Or he said it was just he changed his text tone or something, and I was like, okay. And I think it was a day or so later, I noticed on Facebook, because we all know how invasive Facebook is, that there was a website called Meet Me, and on the side, you know, where it shows this person commented on this person went on this, it showed that he was checking out females on a website called meetme.com. And if you guys haven't seen this website, it's a ghetto version of MySpace. And I messaged him about it, and I forgot what he said, but it all of a sudden stopped coming up on Facebook. I'm like, okay. I think a week or so later, his phone was still getting the notifications, and I was telling one of my friends, and I was like, this is kind of fishy, you know? And so I made my own, and actually myself, you know, I went to go look at his, but it was blocked, and I tried to add him, and he wouldn't add me. So I was like, okay, this is getting a little more fishy. So I made a fake one. I took one of my friend's pictures from MySpace, and I made a fake one. I made the person 21 years old. I made the person in the same area as us, you know. And about an hour later, he messaged me, or messaged me at the fake account saying, would you like to punish me, with a little winky face. And I was like, oh shit. And at this time, I was also using his Xbox. That's the Xbox I was playing on, and I was like, oh shit. I went to GameStop. I was like, how much can I get for Black Ops 2? And I'm like, I'm done with this dude. I ain't gonna deal with this shit. And then I was thinking, if I break up with him, he's gonna want his Xbox back. If he wants his Xbox back, that means I can't play with my friends that I moved over to Xbox with, and I would have to go back to PS3, and I didn't have Black Ops 2 on the PS3. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let this slide until I was able to get my own Xbox. So I was messaging him on that account for about 3 or 4 days. The first night, he was already trying to get me to come over to his place, have sex with him. He thought he was gonna get some free pussy. So I was like, okay, you know, I'll come over. Stood him up that night. The next day, he messaged me again. We were talking about certain things he wanted to do, and he was like, you gonna come over tonight? I was like, yeah, tonight I'll come over after, you know, I was with my family after work or whatever I said. And I stood him up again. Stood him up 2 nights in a row. And the third night, he's like, you gonna stand me up again? And I was like, no, I just do it to keep the guy interested, you know? And the whole time I was doing this, it's just hilarious. If I can find the messages, I will try to post them up. And then I was telling one of my friends, I was like, he's messaging me this. And so one night, I was messaging him on my phone, actually me, and I was messaging him on the fake account. And I was like, hey, me actually on my phone, I was like, hey, do you want to hang out? Or did you want to, I was like, oh, I have something to talk to you about, but I need to see you. You know, I want to talk to you about it. And I messaged him on that fake account. I'm like, hey, you know, do you want to hang out? And he would tell me, his actual girlfriend, not the fake account, that he couldn't hang out. And I was like, oh, okay. He would tell me he was too mad, or he was busy, or he's going to go hang out with his buddies, and he didn't want to hang out with me. And I was like, okay, whatever. And he was messaging me on that fake account that whole night. And he was like, so did you want to come over? And it was about 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, you know what? I am done with this shit. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come over. and I picked up one of my friends. We headed over to his house, and I parked outside of his house a little further back so he couldn't see my car. And I messaged him on my fake account, and I was like, okay, I'm here. I get out my car, I close my door, I walk up to the end of his fence, and I stand there. He comes walking out of his garage, and guess what? Who he sees? He seen me, and his face was priceless.
She's a